So far, when we've talked about the nervous system responding, we've seen that there's some kind of stimulus. So maybe you touch something with your finger. That stimulus moves up through your nerves into your spinal cord, which is part of the central nervous system, up into your brain, where there's a decision made, and then there's a response after that. So maybe the message goes back down your arm, and you move your arm. But the key difference with a reflex is it doesn't actually go back to the brain. So the key difference with reflexes is the message doesn't go to the brain for processing. The processing happens in the spinal cord. So if we look at a reflex on our diagram, if something hot touches our finger, that message will be passed up through the nerves into the spinal cord, where there's a quick decision made without us even realizing, and then the message comes straight back down again, and we move our arm really quickly. Reflexes, they still follow the stimulus response model though, and we've used this a lot so far. Let's see how it applies to reflexes. So we have heat in our example here. That's the stimulus, touching a hot surface. We have heat receptors in our fingers. And the neuron type that we've learnt about previously are the sensory neurons. These are going to carry that message to the control center, which is the spinal cord. And the spinal cord and the brain, remember, are made up of interneurons. And then quickly, that message is sent straight back down to our arm again, using motor neurons. Motor neurons always carry a message away from the central nervous system. Motor neurons are going to send that message to our arm muscles, which are the effector, and then we'll have a quick response. So our arm will move. So we can see that a reflex, there's a slight difference, but we still follow this stimulus response model. Lastly, let's look at a few different types of reflexes, and you'll probably know all of these ones. The first one we talked about here, like touching something hot or touching something that gives you pain, like a needle. The proper name is called a withdrawal reflex, because you're pulling your arm away, you're withdrawing it. Another type of reflex that's common is sneezing. If you get some dust in your nose, you sneeze without even being able to control it. Blinking is another type of reflex, as well as coughing. This one here is, if you ever get a fright, you might remember that you instantly duck your head down, curl your shoulders over, maybe you put your hands up to protect yourself. This is a whole lot of movements that happen all together, and we call it the startle reflex. And animals have evolved the startle reflex to protect their body if there's danger